when you've got an anxious, cluttered mind, how do you get rest or get some sleep? I am not an expert in this, but I am someone who has gone on a real journey up and down with their sleep. In yoga terms, in Ayurveda, they might have where they say, sorry, I just rocked up today. They have techniques in Ayurveda where it's about understanding yourself, your body type, your dosha it's called. And for me, it's like one really good night, one not so good, and on and off, where some people's just always struggling. But I wanted to help share some tips that I've learned from all my yoga studies and I've got a meditation pillow too, because I normally sit like this on a meditation pillow all day actually, when I can. But for calming a cluttered mind, now there is no such thing as perfection, and that's sometimes my problem, I think, is that I want this calm and tranquil, peaceful brain, but I'm neurodivergent, so I've got dyslexia, dyspraxia, and whilst that comes with it a lot of creativity and exciting kind of ideas, when it comes to calming it, it's really difficult. And one thing that I found and I've started to do before bed is yoga Nidra. And that's a type of yogic sleep technique, which I've just learned. I just basically put on a podcast or Audible book or YouTube on yogic Nidra meditation to sleep. And a lot of that is called yogic sleep. And they say actually 1 hour practicing, half an hour practicing yoga Nidra, even if it's in the day, is the same as an hour and a half to 2 hours of a good night's sleep. So I think a lot of us put that pressure on the evening, which isn't always helpful, because when you've got a cluttered mind, or let's say neurodivergent, because I like to be kinder about it now, because there's parts of it that's brilliant too, it's really hard to calm and find that peaceful place. That's why I've just done some face yoga to finish off a day at the screen, doing lots of writing and working with clients online, coaching them, and actually just having that calm face yoga, doing some nice techniques, even finishing with one of my coaching students, doing breathing in and out, tiger's breath. No matter how silly we look, it's really good for your face, especially when you've been online all day. And not only that, then just having this routine. They always say go to bed at the same time, get up at the same time, and that's really important. But I won't lie, I've struggled with that of late, especially since coming out of hostel, where I was always on high alert and there was binging all the time and I was all over the place. So I think I'm being a bit rebellious at the moment with having less routine. But again, it's not about being cruel to ourselves. It's just trying to get us back into that flow, because we all know how sleep is the cornerstone to well-being and how important it is. So it is really, really important, and that's why if you do struggle at night, it's important to try your best to build some restful activities within the day. And again, one thing that I've been learning in yoga, because that's one of my passions, in learning that to go with my belly dance passion, in which I do on the side of all my media work. And one thing I've learned is that actually mindfulness, when we're alert, is yeah, I'm exactly the same with sleep, Andrew. I don't like sleeping, too much to do. That's what I feel like, but it is worth it, because as we know, and this is note to self, we know we're much more powerful when we've had a good night's sleep. And so it's so important to kind of come back to yourself, but also mindfulness is a state of consciousness, active consciousness, whereas sleep is a state of passive kind of stillness and consciousness. So that's why the two work hand in hand in kind of working together. But if we try and lay that pressure from the evening and just think we're going to try and get as much sleep as we can within a kind of 24 to 48 hour sleep cycle, then I think having less pressure actually like helps reduce the clutter in your mind. Because often I think, and this is where we find like with well-being, it's a bit of a buzzword at the moment, but we're going from place to place online. Oh, we should be doing this, we should be doing that. And for me, it's just about sharing techniques that I'm using and have discovered that work. But again, no one size fits all, no one routine fits all. That's why it's really important to address your own concerns. Like with me, some of my cluttered mind isn't just the beauty of my neurodivergent brain and creativity. It's also a symptom of PTSD as well, post-traumatic stress disorder. And when you have that anyway, it's sometimes you need professional help as well. But for me, I've personally found and feel that having to start with meditation, I couldn't just start from lying down. I had to start from movement, and then eventually I could lie down because I could declutter my mind. And it doesn't mean that we'll just go from full-on clutter to absolute zen. No, life's a journey, and it's just about making the most of that stillness. So if you get that 5 minutes to do some yoga, just, turn on a video online, or even better if you manage to attend a class, because I think if you struggle with a kind of cluttered mind, unless we're in that practice, it's really hard to switch off from everything. So if you can, that's the ideal, is actually to attend a practice or something online where you're kind of accountable. But also to have that routine on the evening, like I do my face yoga after my calls. And then I try not to, I always want to go to power yoga. Life is a journey. I always want to go to power yoga, but I know in an evening doing too much exertion, I'll be kind of even more kind of energetic. So I have to try and do more calming stretches if I want to do my stretches, and a lot of breathing techniques work. And also to get out, dump out my brain, like write it down, my ideas, because it almost stresses my brain out if I don't just write down stuff. So it's just noticing your energy levels when you work best and when you don't, and going on that journey with yourself. But most of all, having that peace within, because that's the beauty. There's a firework in the background. And that's the beauty of yoga, is that I've really found that it is for everyone. No one size fits all with it, because it's about bringing yourself into the moment, and whatever that moment looks like for you. Maybe you will become this Zen character. And I know I've become a lot calmer, and patience is power, and having that self-time, because I know it's made me realise what an introvert I am, why I need my study time and my writing time away from anyone and anything, and why I need a clutter-free home, but I struggle because I love stuff. But again, that's a journey as well, decluttering and trying to find that calm at home. So it's about taking your control in your steps, working out what works for you. But I would suggest try at least Yoga Nidra. I found it really beneficial. And then also, not only that, if I can do it, someone who has turned up, I think now the face yoga, I've rubbed off all my makeup because I was trying to anyway. I've got a cut on my head and probably like food in my hair from baking and slamming my head against the cupboard last night. One earring out because I lost the one earlier in between clients and I couldn't get under the fridge. And then I've been running, and so that's why I may not look that rested up, but yoga and sleep can also give you a natural glow. But we're all on his journey, aren't we? So I have a natural glow, but maybe not looking the perfect advert for good sleep at the moment. But that's the thing, it's noticing ourselves. So I used to have a really good power morning routine, because ideally we want to get up on sunrise and go to bed when the moon's out. Obviously I'm doing this and the moon's out, and I'm not in bed, but it is about turning off those lights, trying to power down, doing something peaceful. Blue lights definitely off, and just trying to find that calm. But even if it's in the day to start with, it's just finding that those peaceful moments and those little segments, because they do, I promise you, save you time. I'm note to self, who knew all this before hospital and then after hospital, because I've been a bit rebellious, I think. My rebellious is like staying up studying late nowadays anyway. So, you know, because I was so like disturbed in hospital, being woken up every hour for appointments and blood tests and scan results and all of these kind of things. I think I've been on that journey, but now it's after kind of really reflecting in yoga. Life is a story, and even a yoga practice is a story. It doesn't mean us as practitioners who talk about well-being or yoga or whatever flowing energy, doesn't mean that we're these perfect people. And that's why I always say hashtag perfectly imperfect, because we're also on a journey. We just might be a few steps ahead, and in other things a marathon behind. But yeah, I'd love to know about your sleeping journey and what you found works for you. I definitely find getting out in the fresh air, outside, doing some of my fitness now I can outside, really, really helps too. Sending you all so much peace, love, and shimmies. Right, I'm off to write and power down before I get carried away online with all the adrenaline now, so I know I need to like down. Take care, everyone, and peaceful, restful times.